Good morning. This is for the South Africans who are going to be entering the United States. This is just a public service announcement. I just wanted to make you aware that the black people who were students during apartheid, we're grandmas and grandpas now, and we have the ear of Gen Z. One more thing. I also want to let you know that our president, he has Secret Service. And you will not. I also want to tell you that black people over here are empowered. These are just public service announcements. When you get here, sit your down and don't touch nothing. Because you don't have Secret Service. Okay. Now have the day you deserve.
I don't know about y'all, but if a white South African refugee calls me a colored, if they say I'm more blacker than you because I'm come from Africa, it's on site. And it should be on site for all of them. Trump don't made himself a mistake because they all could get it.
Donald Trump definitely engaging in textbook victimization where he doesn't want these white South Afrikaners, colonizers, settlers to be exact, the whole responsibility for how they have illegally confiscated land, a lot like you're doing over there in Gaza, West Bank, and everywhere in between. But I say that from the video. The point here is to talk about when he believes some white people are being done bad in this globe, he believes that America should always be a sanctuary nation for him. You see what I'm saying? But if you not the same color to get in, you feel me? Start with your complexion, your complexion. You can't get in. You know what I'm saying? You got to hate from outside the club because you illegal. You got to figure out how to get there. But if some white South Africans, you know what I'm saying? This is part of blowing my mind too. Once you realize that a lot of the grandparents and aunties that's in South Africa, they're old enough to like, they was alive when y'all stole their land.
Y'all, don't worry about these white South Africans coming here. They about to be the new help. You heard me. They are about to be the new help. They got rid of all the people tending the land. All the immigrants that were tending the land are gone. So what they about to do, replace them with the white South African workers. Y'all gonna be working to feed black folks.
I guess they're doing more for whites that don't live here than they're actually doing for whites that live here, as they're stripping your rights of due process away from you. But the brown can't stay around. And by the way, if you are in South Africa today and you think you're going to board that plane and come over here and everything's going to be fine, honey, you are insane. Don't believe that lie. You will still be outnumbered here if you just so happen to think it's okay to hate the black and brown, dear. Anyway, please share this video because I think we need to get it out into the everywheres. And one more thing. Apparently these are supposed to be farmers coming here to plow the land. Maybe you should look at what, well, that orange man is currently doing to farmers who actually live in this land.
Hey my people, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that from wherever you my lovelies are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. I do appreciate all of you that keep supporting. I appreciate the super thanks and super chats, and a big shout out to my members. We have 6 amazing members on here. I love all of you. Yes, and we do have another interesting episode to look at today. Yes, today we are going to be looking at reactions of Black people. Reactions are very hilarious about the refugees that are coming from, South Africa to America. But it's going to be a mixture, right? It looks like your Americans don't have any nice words for these people, rightly so, because these are people that have been oppressing another group of people over here, and they are coming to join another group of oppressors, right? But a lot of them have quite a lot of, harsh words to these people. And there's quite strict, warnings that a lot of these people have to abide by. Let's say Americans and Black Americans, they don't, they are not okay with the idea. They're like, we don't like Trump, and anything that has to do with him, including you. Why don't we watch all these teachers, different responses and reactions of these different people? Again, credit goes to them. We'll come back and talk about it. I would like to know what you guys think about this very episode, and don't forget to subscribe if you're landing on here for your very first time.
The president has shown support for South African refugees that are coming to the United States next week. Can you talk about what these refugees are fleeing and why this is a priority for the administration?
Well, the president has actually signed an executive order on that matter. My office can get it back to you, Michael. But this group in South Africa has faced racial persecution. In fact, the government there has vowed to take away their farmland that they own. And so the president has talked significantly about this. As for further details on refugee claims and asylum claims, I would defer you to the State Department.
To all of the South African Afrikaans refugees that are coming to America soon, I just want to let you know, as someone whose wife is Afrikaans, who's been to South Africa multiple times, you're going to have a bad time. There's no white genocide happening in South Africa. You have crime that's happening as a result of racism-fueled generational economic inequality, the same thing that's happening in America. We're just a couple decades ahead of you on the unchecked capitalism timeline. But I have good news for you. You don't have to worry about the cheap exploited labor rising up against you anymore, because now that you're in America, you'll get to be the cheap exploited labor. If you were middle class or upper middle class in South Africa and you come to America, you're poor now. Like, really poor. You're not going to have maids and gardeners and personal servants that you can pay $15 a day for. Now you get to be the cheap labor. But by all means, please come to America and experience the American capitalism that Elon Musk's been raving about to you. You'll probably love it. You know, what do I know? There's probably very little chance that you'll end up going back to South Africa in a year or two after realizing how overpriced and fucked up America is. I wouldn't even worry about that as a possibility. And if you think I'm being mean to these people because I think they're a bunch of racist, bigoted colonizers who wish they could go back to apartheid South Africa, it's just because I do think that. But to them, I say, welcome to the American dream. Please let me know when you've woken up from it.
Y'all, don't worry about these white South Africans coming here. They about to be the new help. You heard me. They are about to be the new help. They got rid of all the people tending the land. All the immigrants that were tending the land are gone. So what they about to do, replace them with the white South African workers. Y'all gonna be working to feed black folks. As y'all should. Get y'all asses over here and do y'all goddamn job. Y'all think y'all getting away from us. Y'all not. Y'all just gonna be working for us. Come on in the room. See, Trump knew he couldn't get our asses out there. There's no way in hell you're going to get black folks out there to work no kind of land. But he could say, hey, these South Africans are being suppressed. Their land is being taken away from them. They need to come over here and seek retribution. And get y'all asses in the field where the fuck y'all belong. Make sure y'all picking every fucking vegetable and don't miss out on anything. Y'all not getting away from black folks. Y'all going to be around us a lot more. And unlike the ones in South Africa, we don't give a fuck. You're not going to be able to call us colored. You're going to get your dome rocked. So be careful, tread lightly. And remember, we don't see you as African. We see you as colonizers of an apartheid. Welcome to America.
When I first laid eyes on these South Africans coming over here, I said, wait a minute. I ain't never seen an obese South African before. Anyway. I'm serious. When white America get through with these refugees, I hope somebody tell these people that America gonna turn them every which way but loose. These people going back home, y'all. They will not stay here long term. America is ghetto as fuck, and they don't care. Just looking out of the window. They get through with these people, this man gonna be skin and bones, bones and skin.
You know, I've never seen a group of refugees that look this damn healthy in my life. Truly obese refugees. I mean, I think that's an oxymoron, obese refugee. But no, for real though, these folks claiming that they are being oppressed in Africa, family. Did we all forget it was their manifest destiny that brought them to Africa in the first damn place? It's funny how colonization and white privilege just works out for people. If I can recall my history notes, it was the Dutch West India Company and the Dutch East India Company that started all of this colonization early. So when your manifest destiny doesn't work out, white privilege will always bail you out. Trump made it clear that he doesn't mind importing racists to this country. I just want to know who's going to pay that tariff.
Will the white
South Afrikaners have arrived, and Trump and MAGA are rolling out the motherfucking red carpet. But let me tell you something. The rest of us, we don't want you here. We don't like you. We don't respect you, nor do we need you. Take your motherfucking asses back where you came from. We are going to treat you like you treated those South Africans, the black South Africans. Because you have no goddamn skills. So what do you intend to do while you're here? We don't need any more farm owners. They're suffering as it is. And Trump has already deported all of the migrant workers. So your no skilled asses are going to actually have to work the goddamn farms. Unless you're waiting on Elon and Daddy Trump to take care of you. So now you're in for a big ass shock because they're sending your asses to Idaho and Ohio. You're going to have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to motherfucking survive here in the United States. So motherfucking welcome to America. Now take your stupid, entitled white asses the fuck on. Toodaloo.
That's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are.
Donald Trump definitely engaging in textbook victimization where he doesn't want these white South Afrikaners, colonizers, settlers to be exact, the whole responsibility for how they have illegally confiscated land, a lot like you're doing over there in Gaza, West Bank, and everywhere in between. But I say that from the video. The point here is to talk about when he believes some white people are being done bad in this globe. He believes that America should always be a sanctuary nation for him. You see what I'm saying? But if you not the same color to get in, you feel me? Start with your complexion, your protection, your complexion. You can't get in. You know what I'm saying? You got to hate from outside the club because you illegal. You got to figure out how to get there. But if some white South Africans, you know what I'm saying? This is part of blowing my mind too. Once you realize that a lot of the grandparents and aunties that's in South Africa, they're old enough to like, they was alive when y'all stole their land. You don't want to return it. You say their land is being stolen. Settler solidarity, man. When I was in college, I learned the concept of settler colonialism on my mama. You see the country really engaging in it right now. I'm talking about we have a whole assault on the entire immigration system, but it's obviously racialized because the white people from South Africa, you're good. Come on in.
The South African refugees have arrived.
Is McDonald's their oppressor? Those are some well-nourished refugees. What kind of refugee is built like an offensive lineman? Honestly, the New England Patriots could use a new lineman. Sign them up. Bro, like, I don't see any struggle on their face. I see a lot of hate coming off of them, but no struggle. I want that kind of oppression. That looks like fun. That looks like some privilege that they've got. Like, it looks like they've been through nothing except for the drive-through line.
Well, we're going to be providing them free housing, food, and medicine.
Well, then why don't we just give them a key to the city while we're at it, okay? Make sure that when they're coming from the airport, their Uber stops at a Krispy Kreme. They deserve it because they've been through too much. They need a break from oppression, from having to own the majority of the land in South Africa. Like, get out of here, man.
Look, they've been through a lot, right? Having to go through nothing in life is a struggle on its own, right? Something Freud might have said.
I was just sitting here. Where the fuck are these South Africans finna live? Are our tax-paying dollars about to pay for these people's hotels and shit, bro? I know the fuck.
So let me get this straight. Trump banned Muslims, caged black and brown kids, and called Haiti a shithole. But somehow he's rolling out the carpet for white South Africans, who, mind you, claim they're being oppressed by the very people that they oppressed for generations. This is not refugee policy. It's plantation nostalgia, dressed up as immigration reform. This entire push to rescue South African farmers is built on a narrative, not facts. Yeah, there's some violence in South Africa. Yeah, some white farmers have been attacked. But the majority of the victims, they're not white. And the attacks aren't racially targeted. They're part of a broader crime crisis. South Africa has deep issues, yes. But this ain't some ethnic cleansing of white people. This lie got amplified by conservative media, white nationalist forums, and people who think land redistribution is oppression. When really, it's just justice knocking on the door. So let's be honest about what this really is. It's America offering comfort to people who feel uncomfortable with equality. That's it. Because these so-called refugees are being fast-tracked for protection. Black asylum seekers from war-torn nations are being detained, deported, and ignored. They're not being offered farms and safety. They're being offered ice and silence. This has never been about safety. It's about whiteness being treated like it's in danger anytime it's not in power. But here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to let people run from the consequences of apartheid, land here, and act like they're victims of a woke world gone mad. No. You don't get to gentrify racial trauma across borders. You don't get to weaponize your discomfort with progress and call it persecution. And if you're feeling displaced by land reform, good, because the land wasn't yours to begin with. So if you think Trump's weak attempt to play savior gives you the green light to come over here and start disrespecting people, think again, because the rest of us, we don't play like that. Go find you something safe to do, because bringing apartheid to a new zip code is the fastest way to find out this ain't the America you thought you were walking into. Stay safe.
If you're wondering where all these South Africans are gonna go, don't worry. They already had a plan in place. And it was called Acre Trader. That's right. They already took the farmland from farmers who were failing. As a matter of fact, they have about 40,000 acres of farmland that they took from American farmers because they wouldn't give them subsidies. Acre Trader is an American real estate investment company that specializes in farmland. It says here that the company aims to increase investor access to real estate assets and provides capitals to farmers and growers to expand their business. But what they failed to leave out here is that the first investor into Acre Trader was none other than J.D. Vance. You know J.D. Vance, the one who was in charge of the White House with the president who is cutting all the subsidies to the farmers? Yeah, that J.D. Vance. And what they also failed to mention is the fact that the people who were investing, yeah, they were South Africaners. And guess who just came to America to go on these farms? That's right, you guessed it. Are you sick of it yet? Are you sick of it yet? $880 billion being pulled from Medicaid so they can fund tax money going to the rich. Your farmland being taken away from American farmers and being given to South African refugees. People being human trafficked all over the United States and outside of this country for financial gain. Minimum wage is $7.25. Hasn't been raised since 2009. You can't afford healthcare. You can't afford your car insurance. You're probably not going to be able to buy a home anytime soon. And grocery prices are through the roof. And guess who's going to own your food now? The People's Sick Day is coming. It's going to be a 1 to 3 day collection of people who are going to take back their power by setting down. No more showing up for work when you're making peanuts and they're giving away your farmland to foreigners. You better join us, because unless we stand up, none of us are going to win this fight.
We built apartheid, and now we're refugees. We took the land, we took people's futures, we took their dignity, and now we're being given refuge? What must it feel like to be a person of color? A black person in South Africa, watching my people who broke this country and now run off to claim victimhood somewhere else. We say we're afraid, but we built what we were afraid of. In 1994, we didn't give over power, we just gave over the mess and said it's your fault, you deal with it now. But our white hands are clean. And now we're fleeing the country crying reverse racism. So black South Africans, please tell the bad guy right here how it makes you feel. Because this is not right. This is sick. And I don't want to be the perpetrator anymore.
Now, I know the MAGA people don't really pay attention to what's going on, but why is Trump letting in 8,000 white South Africans as refugees? These people aren't even refugees. And I thought you guys were against immigrants, like all immigrants. Why the hell are you okay with him letting in 8,000 white people from South Africa? You think they're all going to be Elon Musks? Do you really want 8,000 more Elon Musks? Like, who the hell wants these people here? Why is it You guys are all screaming at the top of your lungs about how you got to get rid of immigration, and immigration is terrible. Until it's 8,000 white people from South Africa. Why the hell aren't you pissed about these people? And he's fast-tracking their process so that they can get here and be in America legally in less than 3 months. Where usually, before Trump, even asylum seekers, it would take like 18 months to a couple of years. Why the fuck is he fast-tracking all these white people from South Africa? And why aren't the Republicans pissed off about this? Oh, because you're all racist.
Donald Trump is chartering a plane using U.S. taxpayer money to bring refugees from South Africa to America. Now let's think about this for just one moment. What is the same about all these South African refugees that we might notice? They're all white people. That's right. And so when we talk about deporting people, it appears that they're mostly non-white, but we can bring in South Africans who are white. And I just can't shake this feeling. I just can't shake this feeling that maybe, and I'm not saying it, I don't know, I'm not there, I'm not in the room when these conversations occur. It seems to me that it's possible that these guys in the White House are motivated by certain aspects of these people that they're bringing in and taking out. I'm not saying it's true.
So the current administration is allowing 8,000 South African refugees, white South African refugees, to come into the country. They are sending private jets to pick these refugees up. Starting Monday, the first batch of refugees will be coming into the United States. My thing is that I thought that they put a pause or a halt to folks putting in application or applications for refugee status in the United States. And also, they are deporting refugees. How is it that you're deporting refugees at the same time, but you're sending private planes on taxpayers' dime to pick up these South African refugees? None of this makes sense at all.
They only want white people here. Because when we think about refugees who need immediate resettlement, expedited screenings, we usually think about people who are fleeing extreme violence, persecution, famine, war in places like South Sudan, Myanmar, the Congo, not white Afrikaners. See that chartered plane the Trump administration is sending? It's not going to collect refugees that have been sitting in resettlement camps for years, fully vetted, waiting to come to the United States to escape violence. No, it's going to South Africa to collect white people who claim they're being discriminated against. Why would they be getting discriminated against? Probably because they spent generations instituting legalized forms of racial segregation and discrimination called apartheid, aka Stephen Miller's wet dream. See, while the rest of the world after World War II saw that maybe racial discrimination not such a hot idea and favored more policies of integration and away from colonization, Afrikaners doubled down on that shit and instituted apartheid. Although it ended over 30 years ago, the social and economic legacies of apartheid continue today. South Africa is the most unequal country in the entire world, according to the World Bank, with white South Africans earning over 12 times what black South Africans do. But don't worry, we're going to make sure that the white Afrikaners who instituted generations of discrimination and segregation against black people get everything they need to get started here in the United States in their new life.
Well, they're MAGA. The white Afrikaners, they're MAGA. They don't have money. They haven't been oppressed, honey. They just didn't want to comply with DEI. So they came here because they were lied to, dear, and told that we don't do DEI no more here. That somehow Alonia Muskrat, Daddy Dumpy Pants have squashed the woke mind virus. Now, if you are one of these white South Afrikaners, baby, or whatever the Afrikanas, whatever the hell you call yourself, I don't really care. You're going to find that out about America. We don't care, honey. Nobody here gives a fuck what you want to be called at all. Even your own people that you came here to be with that don't believe in being woke and DEI, they're not going to care either. Just wait till they start slinging hate your way because you don't speak English, baby. At least not to where they can understand. When you break out your accent, honey, they're not gonna care what color your skin is. You gonna find out real fucking quick how we hate here. You know why we hate so much in the US of A? Because we're unhappy. That's why. It's hard going out every day and breaking your neck and your back and not being able to put food on your plate because somebody likes to fly around in a $400 million gold-plated plane. I know. But either way, you should know something today, that you've been lied to, boo. Yes, it just so happens that all of those companies that jumped in line to kiss Daddy Dumpy Pants' ass and get rid of their DEI, as of yesterday, a whole bunch of those companies decided to reinstate their DEI. Because it's always profits over people. And what they found out is that the steeple people who don't believe in diversity and equity and inclusion don't really have a whole lot of money to spend. They're too busy giving it to the orange man. So they decided to once again let DEI in. And let's talk about white hate for a minute, because last night me and my life partner was sitting in the bed laughing at all of the insanity that is going on because some white people decided to come here. And we were laughing about the hate that they're going to go through and how white hate has come full circle. White hate has come full circle, y'all. We went from hating people who were really dark to just a little bit dark to really dark brown to medium brown to light brown, because that's the new brown that we hate, by the way. Not me. I love all shades of brown, baby, because I know that we are all different shades of brown. I'm very, very light brown, beige. It's a shade of brown, beige, by the way. Anyway, it's funny to us, me and my life partner, we sat there and laughed our asses off last night. That's how toxic white hate is that now white hate has moved all the way down the fucking melanation color palette to hating white again. Full circle. We've come full circle in America with our white hate. Now we hate each other. You gotta love it, honey. You gotta love it. White hate, baby. Just full circle. We've done a full 360 coming right back to hating our very own kind here in America. And we're going to continue to hate each other here in America until we have a government that is for the people, by the people. That's just the way that's going to be. You can look at other countries that are high up in the rankings of happiness. And it just so happens in those countries that are the happiest on the planet, where people don't hate each other because of their race or their religion or their creed or their sexuality, the one thing they all have in common is that their government is for the people, by the people. And until we have that, I don't care what color your skin is and how quickly you decided to hop on a plane and come here, you are going to face hate too, dear. Those are just facts. Those are just facts. I hope you're okay with that.
It's really, really good to see that Americans, especially for me, black people, feel the same way we feel about these people, right? Because they are oppressors. And it is so crazy that oppressors want to be victims so bad. South Africa has a crime problem and everybody knows that. And the target is not just, the palm-colored people, but literally everyone. I've seen quite a lot of issues arising out of South Africa. If you saw a story of a child that was literally, I don't even know, stuff happened to that child. I think was she like 5-year-old in a school, and she's black. Her name was Chwechwe, and people are still crying for justice for Chwechwe. Meanwhile, we have quite a number of people here that are victimizing themselves, calling themselves, we are the target. They are stealing land away from us, when in fact this group owns majority of the wealth in the country. Like, make it make sense. And for you Americans, I understand the outrage, which is actually very good, because you're showing the picture of what these people need to know. Because they probably are coming, they were thinking they're coming to a land of opportunities, the American dream, they thought since the land is full of palm colored people, everybody's gonna be excited. But just like you have seen, the reactions were not just of black people. I wanted to, just reduce it to black people reactions, but I know for sure there's quite a number of reactions that I put in there of palm colored people that have a lot of things to say about this group of people, which is very, very interesting. But I think these people thought they're only coming to palm colored people, and unfortunately it was a wake-up call. America is a diverse place. It has Latinos, it has black, it has Venezuelans, it has the palm coloreds too, and they know how to survive with each other and tolerate each other, right? So it is so good to see that America is not opening their arms to this group of hypocrites that have committed atrocities for years and years and generations, but then they want to make themselves a victim all of a sudden, right? And guys, this information is always been on the internet. Racist South Africans are the worst. Even when they go to other palm-colored countries, they are the worst. If they are saying black South Africans are committing crimes and stuff, I have some receipt of a South African palm colored that came to Uganda for something that is not even related to what he eventually did. He left a car of someone vandalized and ran out of the country, right? Australians don't like them. And many more other countries, the level of entitlement they have, you Americans are about to feel it. So that's why I say it's so good that you are giving them how you feel, so that once they try to act like they've been acting in South Africa, they will be reminded that, hey, this is not, a place for you to act entitled and be abusive and look down on people. Here is the land of struggle. You're going to struggle just like everybody struggles over here, and you will be receiving what you extend to others. Quite a number of people are saying these people may not even be able to last in America because they are going to realize that things are more difficult in America than they are back home. Let's see how they are going to be holding. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I think from me for today, that's it. I love all of you, and I'll see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Chrissy, and bye.